These are the sleeping pads that I've tested out over the past year. If you're new here, my name is Bryce. I've been backpacking for a long time and I've tested a lot of sleeping pads over the years. And some of these really surprised me. So I'm gonna jump right in today with a little shootout. Alright, the lineup today is the Nemo Tensor Extreme Conditions, the Outdoor Vitals Oblivion, Flextail Gear Zero Mattress RO5, the Kilos Gear Aero Cloud Elite, and the all-new Kilos Gear Ultralight. Let's go to a windy mountaintop, Bryce. It's a great idea. I see no problems.
Tents ever, look at that thing. Oh, look at that.
In the warmth category, the winner is easily the Nemo Tensor Extreme Conditions pad. This thing boasts an impressive 8.9 or 8.5. This is definitely the warmest pad by a good bit of everything else I've tested. This one is also, if you notice, it's the 20-inch wide, the mummy shaped version. Not the one I really wanted, but I found it for like $100 off, and to just test it, I bought it. So this is kind of a new revamped version of the old Nemo Tensor, which I always found was not as warm as they say it is. I think the original or the insulated version was like a 4 something R value, and I've always thought that it was colder, like way colder than like the Thermarest X-Lite that was also a 4 R value. So the fact that they made the Tensor with the same comfort with a, proper insulation system, this thing is nice for 4-season, a true 4-season pad. Honorable mention goes to this pad by Flextail Gear. This is the Zero Mattress RO5. The name needs a little bit of work, but she's a big girl. She's a fatty. This pad has some good advantages. It definitely holds air like I've never seen before. When the dew sets and humidities drop at night, a lot of times you have to put more air into them. This one just seems to hold air. Even in the morning, it doesn't seem like it lost any. But this boasts an also impressive like 5.6 R value. Is that right? Is that what I got? Fairly comfortable pad. I'd say it's actually really comfortable. All these pads are actually really comfortable. But as far as warmth goes, 5.6 R value on this one. Definitely the second warmest pad out of the bunch. I do have a few bones to pick with this pad, but we're gonna get to that a little bit later on. Now, as far as comfort goes, these two pads win it. Mostly why two? Because they're the same exact design. I can't really feel a difference in comfort at all between these. So this is the Kilos Aero Cloud Elite, and this is the Kilos Gear Aero Cloud Ultralight. Now, you may have never heard of the Ultralight pad. It's because it's their newest pad. Also, I'm partnering with Kilos Gear in this video, but don't worry, these are honest reviews. That was kind of one of my stipulations, and honestly, they told me, they like to partner and they wanted an honest review. They also told me that I'm free to compare them to other big name sleeping pads in the market, which is good because I was planning on doing that anyway. So these are easily the most comfortable pads out of all these. All these rating systems are going to be off of my true opinion. I've had the Elite pad for over a year now, and it is definitely just a super comfortable pad. That's due to the baffle design. It kind of mimics a mattress the most. Also, I found with these, they kind of cradle your body more than a lot of other pads do. So even when it's like at full inflation, you kind of sink down in it a little bit, which could be bad on some sleeping pads, but the fact that these are both 4-inch thick pads, it really just feels good. These are going to give you the most, they're the closest feel to a mattress at home out of all the ones I'm testing today. Also, being that these are 4-inch thick pads, that's crucial if you are a side sleeper and you tend to have your hip digging into the ground. I think no matter how you sleep, these are probably going to be the most comfortable for everybody out of this lineup. Water resistant and windproof. Let's get to the honorable mention. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about this pad because the Ultralight here, is definitely the most surprising pad out of the bunch. If you look at the specs on paper, this thing mimics a tried and true Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite, like really close. Like I call this the X-Lite killer. Very impressive. You guys are gonna wanna see that. The honorable mention for comfort goes to the Outdoor Vitals Oblivion. For only being the 3-inch thick pad going up against, like I said, some of these 4-inch thick pads, this thing is very, very comfortable. It is colored like a sea bass, which I think what they're going for there is it's very reflective, which I'm kind of surprised more pads don't do this, because reflectivity reflects your body heat, just like Mylar survival blankets. It's supposed to keep you a little bit warmer. Whether it does or not, I don't know. I had a bug in my mouth. The reflectivity is good in a survival situation, probably too. And also if you're lost at sea, it would make a really, really good boat sail. I'm sure you could cross the Pacific holding this thing behind you on a log. Definitely a budget-friendly item here. That's kind of why I wanted to give it the honorable mention. The thing that's bad about this though, it's heavy. I mean, she's a fatty. This pad is not light. Probably the heaviest for what you're getting out of the bunch. Packability. Now this one, I'm not gonna judge it on weight. I want to kind of talk about like how easy it is to roll up, how easy it is to get in the stuff sack, and how much room does it take while it's in your pack. So I think for this one, obviously the Tensor Extreme's going to win. I said win, not wind. Just purely on the fact that I got the small mummy version, which really gives it an unfair advantage. So if we take that one away, I'm going to say the Kilos, both the Kilos pads, not only do they both roll down really easily and they fit in their stuff sacks really easily, but the fact that they're actually pretty small in your pack, and like these are the large versions, 79.5 inches long, 26-inch wide, and they're 4-inch thick pads. So given all that, the fact that they actually have a really small footprint inside of my backpack, that's good. That's gotta be, that's gotta give them some cred on that one. This pad. So the Flextail gear, like I said, this thing holds air good, but it holds air a little too good. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it takes me like several tries to get this thing rolled up to fit in its supplied stuff sack. It's hard, really hard to get all the air out, number one. It takes like several tries of laying on it and pushing the air out. And then even then, when you fold it up and you're rolling it up to get it in the bag, very, very difficult to get in the bag. I've never actually encountered a sleeping pad that was harder to get in its sack than this. Also, the Flextail gear, it's the biggest one once it's all packed up. So packability, that's definitely last. The Outdoor Vitals, probably the honorable mention on this one, again, because it has a very big stuff sack. You can get that thing way smaller than the sack it gets in, which is something that I really appreciate. Some could argue you get what you pay for. The Nemo Extreme Conditions pad, man, it's windy, but that thing is expensive, like really, really expensive. You know, it's good value, right? Because you're getting a good quality product. But I also want to stress bang for your buck, like what you're actually getting for your money. And out of these pads, nothing touches that Kilos Gear Ultralight pad, that yellow one, because of everything I've mentioned before. And here's the coolest thing, and if I haven't sold you on it yet, this is what I think takes the cake. The big version, the long version, $120. The short version, which is what I would get because I'm not tall, $110. So you look at it on paper and even using it against the NeoAir X-Lite, way cheaper. The thing that's crazy too is the AeroCloud Elite by Kilos Gear costs more than the ultralight pad. Now, in the ultralight world, or in the backpacking world, we have what's called ultralight tax. If something is lighter, it's gonna be more expensive. They just tax that on. It's like driving a Toyota. You get that Toyota tax because they run forever and everybody knows it. The fact that the new ultralight pad from them is not taxed out like crazy, that it's still a very, very budget-friendly pad. Like $110, 3.8 R value, 4 inches thick, comfortable, packs down small, lightweight. Dude, you cannot go wrong with that thing. Also, if you're gonna buy the Kilos pads, The Kilos Ultralight pillow, it's a good option. And I'm not just saying that because I'm contractually obligated to. Legit, this is my favorite blow-up pillow that I currently have. It's got a little bit of cotton on it. Very generous pad strap that fits good even on their 26-inch wide pads. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It's a really soft pillow and it's held up good. I've used this primarily on every backpacking trip I've done over the last like 3 or 4 months. It's a little bit heavy, but compared to other pillows like the Nemo Pillow and all that, it's really not. It's right in that same range. But it's a good budget-friendly pillow that that I like, and I'm glad they told me to talk about it because it's good. It's good stuff. A lot of these pads I've been blowing up with this little pump here from Flex Tail Gear, but it's kind of loud and annoying to your neighbors. And also it's just a little bit heavier than the pump sack here. This is actually a really good design pump sack here by Kilos Gear. It's nearly identical to the pump sacks that Nemo provides you with. If you put them side by side, it's really hard to tell the difference. So it just kind of snaps right into the pad there. But if you've never used these before, all you want to do is create volume. So just like if you scrunch down a water bottle and try to get water in it, you're not going to get a lot of water in that, right? Well, this I'm going to blow it up just so it expands, just so it has that like atmospheric pressure inside. So then I can roll it down and get just a ton of air into this pad. Just like that. It doesn't even have to be like super full. Look at all that air. This is definitely the fastest way to inflate a pad. Some of those little pumps take a little bit of time. So dislikes on all of these pads. I'm gonna start with Kilos first off. They are kind of squishy, so even if you blow it up all the way, you sink down in it more, which can be a good thing, or it can be maybe a little bit too squishy for some people. I think it's comfortable, but that's one thing to note. Also with the Kilos Ultralight pad, I wish it was 1 ounce lighter. Like looking at the stats compared to that X-Lite, if it was 1 ounce lighter, it would weigh the exact same as the 25-inch version of that pad. And that would make it 10 times better if it weighed the exact same amount. The Outdoor Vitals Oblivion, it's just heavy. The Flex Tail RO5, the Orange Bomber, man, hard to get the air out of that thing to get it rolled up. And the Nemo Extreme, the Mummy version, if you're looking at these, yeah, it's super light. I think it might be in the 17 ounces for that, which for the R value is crazy good, but 20-inch wide Mummy, dude, it is so skinny. It's 2024, people. 20-inch pads are a thing of the past. But no real gripes about that except it's pricey. So freaking expensive for that thing. All right, I'm literally getting like windburnt up here. And maybe I'm sounding a little too passionate about this, but the fact of the matter is, this was the most surprising pad to me. As soon as I heard about this, I really wanted to test it. You know, everything that it has, even if it was $150, even if they priced it above the AeroCloud Elite, it still would have been a good pad. But the fact that it's really budget friendly just makes it, you know, really good. So huge shout out to them. I'm gonna put a link to the new Kilos Gear AeroCloud Ultralight down below in the video description, so you guys can go check it out for yourself. You know, don't take my word for it. Thanks Kilos Gear for reaching out again, letting me test out this sweet pad. So thank you guys for watching. Would you believe that it's not windy at all right now? Yep, that's it. See you on the next one.